Welcome. Today, we are looking at what the latest market data actually says about buying, selling, and owning a home in North Atlanta. This is July 2026 market update. We will focus on the market conditions that matter for buyers, sellers, and homeowners. If you are trying to understand the North Atlanta market real estate right now, the headlines are probably leaving you more confused than confident. You might hear that the market is stalling out, or you might hear that prices are still climbing. The better question is, what is actually happening on the ground? According to the latest Metro Market report for the second quarter, 64% of all listings started out overpriced. That tells us the market is behaving differently than it did a year ago. In this update, I want to step away from the headlines and give you an educational, data-led look at what is really happening. Whether you are thinking about buying, preparing to sell, or simply want to understand your current equity, the data gives you a clearer sense of where the market stands today. Later in this update, I will also explain the pricing mistakes that is costing sellers money and what that same information means for buyers who are negotiating today. Let us start with the big picture. The report shows that year to date, sales are down slightly compared to last year. The decline is 2.4%. That tells us activity has cooled, but it does not mean the market has stopped. Serious buyers are still buying and serious sellers are still selling. The key difference is that both sides have to be more deliberate. The other side of the story is price. The median sales price is holding steady. In the report, the median sales price is $485,000. That is up 0.6% from the same year last year. The data does not describe a broad price decline. It describes a market where pricing has to be more precise. Put those two numbers together, and the clearest description is a cooling and rebalancing market. Sales are a little slower, buyers have more choices, and pricing matters more than it did a year ago. That is the context to use when you make decisions today. One of the most important changes is supply. Right now, there are about 3.5 months of housing supply on the market. That is up slightly from last year, which is why buyers are beginning to see more options. It is still below the 6-month benchmark commonly used to describe a balanced market. Sellers still have a structural advantage, but buyers have more breathing room than they did before. For buyers, more choice means you do not have to settle for the first home you see because it is the only one available. You have more room to compare homes, assess conditions, and evaluate whether the terms make sense. But well-priced, move-in-ready homes are still attracting attention quickly. The clearest sign of this shift is pricing. Buyers have more choices, so they are becoming much more selective. 64% of listings were initially overpriced last quarter. That does not mean all of those homes will not sell. It means price, condition, and market feedback are carrying more weight from the very first day a property comes on the market. The pricing data also shows what happens when a list price is out of line with buyers' expectations. More than 43% of transactions involved a price reduction. This is up from last year, and 69.6% of sales included seller concessions. Buyers are pushing back on value, and sellers who do not price accurately from day one are more likely to make adjustments later. A rebalancing market does not mean homes are not selling. It means the market rewards a strong launch. More than 51% of all sales last quarter happened in the first 30 days the home was on the market. For sellers, that means preparation and accurate pricing matters before launch day. For buyers, it means the best positioned homes may still require a quick and well-informed decision. The first 30-day data becomes even more useful when we look at price performance. Homes that sold in that window had a median sale to list price ratio of 100%. In other words, the typical sale met the asking price. Only about 8.7% of those homes needed a price reduction. The market is still rewarding homes that are prepared well and priced for current buyers' demand. This brings us to the biggest pricing mistake sellers can make right now, which is overpricing just to test the market. The median time on the market after a price reduction was about 3.3 months longer. That is roughly 100 extra days of waiting for another offer. Overpricing can cost a seller time, leverage, and the strongest early buyer attention. The final sales price data tells the same story. Homes with price reductions closed at a median of 92.9% of asking price. Homes without a reduction closed at a median of 97.4% of asking. Those are metro level report figures, and every property is different, but the pattern is clear. For sellers, early pricing matters. For buyers, a home that has sat on the market and reduced price may offer more room to negotiate. If you are a buyer, this is a market where you have more options and more ability to negotiate on the right property. At the same time, a well-priced, move-in ready home can still sell quickly. Take time to compare value, but be ready to act decisively when the right home is positioned well. If you are a seller, the market can still reward you with a fast, full price sale. But that outcome depends on preparation, current market data, and a price that matches buyer expectations today, not last year. The first few weeks carry the most leverage. If you are a homeowner simply watching the market, the broader data shows that prices are holding steady while buyer behavior is becoming more selective. That is useful context, but it is not a valuation of your specific home. Your actual value depends on your neighborhood, the condition of your home, and the demand in your exact area. Those are the details that turn a broad market report into a useful decision. Real estate is a major financial and life decision. The goal is not to react to a headline. It is to understand the data and use it to make the right decision for your situation. Through the NEST method, we help you navigate the market, understand the numbers, prepare strategically, and move forward with confidence. You can call or text me at 770-626-4162 or connect with me using the booking link in the video description below.